Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi guys, hope everyone is okay. So thank you very much for everyone. We've had lots and lots of compliments for the new venture that me and my friend Ems are actually taking on, which is Ems and Taz Let's Talk. The channel will be going live next week. I am seeing Ems this Friday. We will be doing another video, but we're going to put all of our contact information in there and the link to the channel so you can all subscribe and come over and watch us on there. Ems wants to say a very big thank you. She feels that she has been completely welcomed by our little group and community. So hopefully we'll see all of you over there and some new people as well. So what have I been up to? I have been swimming a lot this week actually. I've really been enjoying swimming. It doesn't matter if it's raining outside. I've got one of those really nice kind of health spa places where I swim so you can look out and it's just all rainy and dark outside and I'm really enjoying it. You've got to find an exercise that makes you happy, otherwise you're just going to get bored of it, which, you know, with me. I was doing the running, but my ankles are just having none of it. I'm okay on the treadmill, but if you try and run any longer than 10 minutes on a treadmill, boring. So I've had lots of lovely compliments about my new hair. Thank you very much. I am incredibly happy with it now. I found my kind of style for winter. I am still a bit sad that my husband and I, we normally have gone over to Spain a couple of times by now, but there's just no point. I am not getting on an aeroplane wearing a mask, and I don't obviously want to then have the risks that come with going on holiday. You know, the dash back and then the isolating, it kind of puts you off. So I'm definitely embracing the paler tan. But I must admit, you can tell that I'm struggling because when I'm walking down the supermarket aisles, I'm now giving the stink eye to raw chickens because they've got a better tan than me. So let's get on with the video. On the 20th of October, we were treated to seeing Catherine and William out and about. Catherine looking absolutely gorgeous in this red coat. It's Alexander McQueen, which we know Catherine loves. It's absolutely stunning. I'm not sure I could get away with a coat that much red on me. I like a splash of red, but she just looks absolutely amazing, doesn't she? She's got a fantastic stylist, whoever they are. And then we've got William, who always looks dapper, doesn't he? I think these two really complement each other. So Catherine and William are out and about because they have teamed up yet again with the National Portrait Gallery to do with the Hold Still Community Photography Project that Catherine obviously launched earlier in the year. What they have done, they've actually made 400 posters of all of the winning photographs, and they have put them up across 100 towns and cities all around the UK. This has actually given a really nice chance for the people that were the models, the subject of some of these photographs, to actually come and see themselves on a big billboard, really. And no one could look happier with this than the little girl that was posing in this picture. She looks absolutely chuffed to bits. So I think it's really lovely that we are yet again seeing more of these pictures that were put out. I think it was a really positive thing in such dark times, and I really hope, obviously this is going to run into next year now, but I hope that they launch another kind of competition like that. It got everyone talking, and it got a lot of positivity, as I said, around a subject that's generally quite negative. So we also saw Camilla, who looked absolutely lovely in a blue winter coat, and she was at Paddington Station. She went there with my least favourite MP at the moment, Matt Hancock. They were meeting the team and the dogs that are now highly trained to detect, I've got to be careful which words I use, but the worldwide bug. You can see here that the dogs are sitting down, very well behaved, as Camilla and Matt are walking around. Well, there's a little tiny bit of me. I know this is not very nice that one of the dogs would have bit Matt Hancock, but never mind. One of the things I will say that I'd be concerned about, these dogs are supposed to be highly trained in detecting the bug in people. So why is no one concerned that this dog is reacting the way that it is to Camilla? All jokes aside, I'm not saying that she's got anything, but surely if you are a person going through the airport and they've got those drug detecting dogs and that dog does that to that person, you would find yourself in a back room quicker with a long glove before you could bat an eyelid. But no one here seems bothered in the slightest. Maybe the dog just didn't like leather gloves. Who knows? A vegan dog. So, on to Harry and Meghan. There's been a few denials flying around for various reasons. Embarrassingly, one of the stories is, I don't know why it's come out now, but we all knew this anyway, but George and Amal Clooney actually admitted on the day of the wedding that they didn't have a clue who Meghan was. Obviously they knew who Harry was. George and Amal have been around Prince Charles for quite some time, sniffing around, you know, and then obviously Amal and Charles have teamed up with actually one of the awards. I can't remember the name of it offhand. So they're aware of Harry, but they were invited to the wedding and they did not know the couple together. So it again just brings up the whole fact that Meghan did not invite any of her family to such a huge event, which I still am completely perplexed about. Okay, she's fallen out with her father, she's fallen out with various people, she doesn't want them around, but she was actually really good friends. You can see here from her Suits days with her niece. She's got aunties, uncles, cousins that she grew up with, and it's just a reminder that Meghan falls out with everyone. Now, if you have this common denominator that basically throughout your life you fall out with absolutely everyone, it might be that you're the problem. But it's just another slap in the face, isn't it? For a taxpayer-funded wedding, what in fact it was. Meghan and Harry, you can't blame Meghan for this because this was Harry's choice as well. It was Harry's choice not to invite his friends and instead invite complete and utter strangers. It doesn't matter that they're Hollywood elite, but it really cheapened the whole affair. And as for the fact it was a taxpayer-funded royal wedding, they used it. They used it as a networking event. That's all it was. That's all it was. You come to our wedding, we're calling favours later on. You know, with Oprah, for example, she didn't know Oprah before. She didn't know any of those guests, which I just find, how was this even allowed? A taxpayer-funded 32 million for Meghan to network. We've also had a denial that Meghan was actually meddling in the US politics. Can you believe it or not? If you're going to do it, girl, own it. I mean, how can she say that she wasn't meddling? Apparently she was only just encouraging people to vote. Yes, okay. I mean, it was that vote, or when all women vote, she turned that quite clearly into vote for the Democrats. And as I said, I'm completely neutral. It's got nothing to do with Trump, so don't come at me over it. But, you know, Meghan has definitely, she's signed up to everything that's to do with Michelle Obama. She's definitely a Democrat. There is no denying it. And the fact that, you know, Trump is clearly in power at the moment, she's saying, this is the most important vote for our life. We must basically vote for the other guy. That's pretty much her meddling in US politics. Harry's sitting there. You're a UK prince, mate. You should have really not been on the bench that time. She is definitely meddling in US politics, but to sit there and go innocently, I don't know what everyone's problem is. Yeah, you do. Come on, yeah, you do. Then we have Prince Harry that has fired off, believe it or not, a legal warning. He has yet again used his poor solicitors. When I say poor solicitors, they're raking it in off of him. But there's going to come a time when shillings are going to look like they're a bit too litigation happy. He has fired off a legal warning to apparently an unfair and untrue story that was published in none other than the Mail on Sunday, which is the UK newspaper that Meghan is in the middle of suing. Harry is reportedly upset about a story which was run this Sunday just gone. They ran a story where a top general in the army has actually done something pretty unprecedented and has bashed Harry publicly. He said he's not given him a lecture, but he is making it known that the top brass are not happy with Harry. There is definitely a red flag here, really, for the Queen and Philip and anyone else that is paying attention to the public kind of discord. But if you've got top brass in the army that are now commenting that Harry's behaviour is not appropriate, then it's really not appropriate. Major General Julian Thompson told the Mail that Harry has not been in touch by email, letter or phone since he last turned up to the Mountbatten Music Festival, the last time he wore his uniform. Do you remember there was the angry picture of Meghan yelling at Harry in the car afterwards? Harry was reportedly devastated that he had to hang up his uniform after these events, but I'm sorry, the way Harry's behaved, I find that really hard to believe. It's no secret that Harry was handed down the prestigious position from Prince Philip in 2017 to become the Captain General of the Royal Marines, a position which Harry has since pretty much flunked. We also saw in the same article that a former Chief General of Staff, Lord Danner, has also complained that he wrote a personal letter to Harry to basically say, you know, where have you gone, Harry? When are you coming back? What are you going to do? And Harry has reportedly ignored the letter. We have since naturally heard from Harry's team that he never received the letter. Funny that. And we have heard from friends and aides, that's staff to you and me, defending the Duke. They have said that Harry has had many conversations with many people in the military on a personal and business basis. It's just unfortunate that no one in the military seems to be aware of this. Now, we had a story came out that Harry treated the people of Invictus Games exactly the same. If you remember the story that came out, Harry didn't even tell them that their huge fundraiser that they were really relying on because they are strapped for cash, the Invictus Games is going to struggle to continue without the sort of massive cash injection. Harry and Meghan were organising a huge celebrity fundraiser, which was reportedly going to be held in LA. They had stars like Beyonce and Ed Sheeran that were going to sign up to it. Now, the first that the Invictus Games staff actually heard that Harry was not going to be able to do the fundraiser and they were pulling the plug completely was through Harry's solicitors. This story naturally then got changed by, aides coming out and speaking on behalf of the Duke. But I know which version of events science that I'm more likely to believe. Harry and Meghan signed to Netflix. It was Amazon that had bought the rights to obviously show the fundraiser and be part of it. But because Harry and Meghan signed that megawatt deal with Netflix, it became a conflict of interest. So they dropped Amazon, and more importantly, Harry dropped the Invictus Games athletes. All over money. You can paint it whichever way you want, but Harry, the best thing that Harry has ever done with his life has been the Invictus Games, and he has let them down. He's let down the military in so many different ways. So is Harry trying to imply that Lord Danat and Major General Julian Thompson are what? Lying that he's been in contact? It's funny, as I said, that the top brass in the army are not aware that Harry's been in touch with them. So Harry's not really denying what was said. He's just upset and sending a legal warning that the Mail on Sunday told us. That's what it all comes down to with these two. It's not that they're denying their behaviour and the way they've treated people. They're upset that the general public get told about it. As for Harry's treatment of all of his previous military kind of roles, you know, he's saying that he's devastated. There's rumours that he's going to plead with the Queen to keep them, and especially, you know, the Captain General of the Royal Marines. Yet his behaviour says otherwise. As I said, the film premiere, when it wasn't the fact that he went to the film premiere instead of going to the memorial. That's obviously one factor, but it was the fact that Harry desperately begged and pleaded with Disney execs at this, using his title to desperately get Meghan Disney voiceover work. There is no celebrity in the world that would have turned up to a film premiere and used that as a time to beg someone like Bob Iger to give their wife a job. It was mortifying. Harry's position as the Captain General of the Royal Marines should have been taken away then and there. You wouldn't have seen Princess Anne behave like that, Prince Philip. You wouldn't have had the Queen ditch something to go to a film premiere. You wouldn't have had even Edward and Sophie, Catherine and William behave that way. It's absolutely deplorable that Harry just still thinks that he's got this sense of entitlement to have all of the positions that he had previously. Harry has lost the respect of the army, the military, the UK, the public. It's clear that Harry's path has changed in the world, okay? It's clear that he doesn't really care about the Invictus Games athletes anymore. And I say this because he left without telling them. You know, he turned up last year when it was all to do with before they announced Megxit, but Megxit has been in plan for a long, long time. He took that position in 2017 as the Captain General of the Royal Marines. He'd obviously met Meghan then. They obviously started their exit strategy at that point. They didn't even tell the Queen that they were leaving, let alone the army, let alone the Invictus Games. The Queen of England, Harry's own grandmother, they didn't even tell. They found out about it when the Sun newspaper article came out by Dan Wootton. That's how everyone found out that Harry was leaving, despite them plotting and planning for months and months and months prior. It seems that Harry is just expecting people to wait around for him to make a decision on what he wants. I'm sorry, what he wants shouldn't be a factor anymore by the way he's treated everyone. Harry and Meghan should not be allowed to cherry pick which royal duties they still want to hang on to. They quit. This in the real world. You have a job, you quit. And you don't just quit, you don't even hand in a notice period. You as a person then have no rights to complain that you didn't get a payout, that they've taken away the company car, they've taken away the phone. You do not get to keep your pension and all of your benefits when you quit your job. And as I said, they didn't just hand in their notice, they literally walked. And the fact that army top brass are now coming out and speaking that Harry hasn't even had the decency, the tiny nano bit of respect to ring them, to explain what his intentions are, what he's going to do. You know, those positions are sitting there open still because that's what the Queen nicely agreed. And I think it's now got to the point where no more nice treatment. They need to do a review before the march. Those positions should be filled. There's lots of ceremonial duties that are going to be coming up shortly, and they should have someone at least very much standing in that position. There was rumours that Princess Anne was going to take it over. There was rumours that Prince William was going to take it over. Someone take it over, because Harry and Meghan do not deserve their patronages. They do not deserve any of the positions or any of the titles that they have been given. And more importantly, the Invictus Games athletes, the army, the Marines, the Queen, the UK public all deserve better. So that's it for me on this video. I am going to be doing another video. Oh, you guys would be pleased to know that I actually went out for a hot chocolate with Diana, the elderly lady that we went and helped out. And yeah, no, so I'm actually going to spend time seeing her occasionally. We're going to do lunch occasionally. She's a little bit lonely in the retirement village that she's in, so we're going to meet up every so often. It gives me an excuse to go into town. We get to go have lunch. So yeah, I've actually made a friend there, which I'm really excited about. So I'll be speaking to you guys really soon. Take care for now.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typist, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.